In this video, I'm just going to go over the answers to your Unit 1 review Desmos. So the first screen was about comparing rational numbers. Question 1, you should have said that positive 2.25 is greater than negative 2.25. We know this because positives are always greater than negatives. For question 2, negative 3 1/4, if you were to convert that to a decimal, you would get negative 3.25, which is equal to negative 3.25. So you should have said equal to. Question 3, negative 4 1/2, if you were to convert the fraction to a decimal, you would have negative 4.5, and then you are comparing it to negative 4.25. Negative 4.5 is further in the negatives, so that means the value of that is less, so you should have said less than. For question 4, this one's kind of looking at place value. So we have negative 4.30 and negative 4.31. Because negative 4.31 is more negatives and you're further into the negatives, it has a lesser value. So you should have said negative 4.3 is greater. For question 5, 9.023 and 9.23. If you look at the tenths place, 0 is less than 2, so that number on the left is less than the number on the right. And then for question 6, if you were to convert that fraction to a decimal, it would be 1.75, which is equal to 1.75. All right, next, if you were to order the rational numbers from least to greatest, the least value is going to be negative 2.5 or negative 2.5. That's further in the negatives than negative 2.25, then negative 2, then we'd have 0, and then you would put the positives in order. So we'd have 0, 1/4 or 0.25, then 0.45, then 1/2 or 0.5, then 1.25, then 1, and then I think there's one more, and then 1.5. Sorry, then 1.25, then 1 1/2. All right, next, additive inverse. Remember, the definition of additive inverse is the opposite of a number, or it's a number that can be added to an original number to have a sum of 0. So we should have negative 1/2 and positive 1/2, negative 4/3 and positive 4/3, 1.25 and negative 1.25, 6 and negative 6, 3/4 and negative 3/4, 2 and negative 2. All right, next, these are your decimals. So you can just pause the video if you need to and compare the decimals you got to the ones you see here. Then we have the fractions. I realize now that I think I skipped the integer slide, but I will include it on the Google Slides that are attached. Here you'll see the fractions. On the right, it just shows what they are as decimals. But those are your fraction answers. Pause the video if you need to check your answers. Right, next, the true statements. The ones selected are true. The first one, these are additive inverses, so we know when we add those together it equals 0. And then negative 2.6, if you were to keep, change, and put those together, that would be positive. Now this question, this is not a very well written question, so if you did not get this, it is okay. We're just going to skip. All right, these are going to be your cards. Please make sure you look closely that you have the correct signs with the cards. One of them that might have tripped you up a little bit, or 2 stacks, is the one in the top right here. Notice that this is counting by 2s. Okay, so that's why it was 8, because it was 2, 4, 6, 8. That's why you're taking away 8. Same for this one. This number line is also counting by 2s. That may have tripped you up a little bit. Feel free to pause the video and compare your stacks with mine. Okay, and then the least value is going to be answer choice D. And then for this one, he would need 0 points because he already had 0 points, and if he wants to stay at 0, he needs to score 0 for round 5. And that is it. I'm going to add the integer slide in as well so you can check those out. And that is your review for your Unit 1 test.